Well, welcome back to Spencer FYI, and we're here to talk about Christmas. We're going to get people in the Christmas spirit right now, right?
It's not like Christmas in July. It's Christmas in October, I guess.
There you go. But this is a Messiah year.
It is a Messiah year, which I'm sure those of you who are keeping track are saying, wait a minute here, it's supposed to be every 3 years, and it's been since 2018 since we last did this thing, so what's going on here? Well, yes, it's what you think. It's COVID. COVID kind of got us, and our last actual Spencer Messiah Board presentation were the Festival Lessons Carols, which you so gratefully taped for us in 2019. And then things happened. And we said, we're going to be safe. People singing and putting out aerosols, which is probably not a good thing, not only for our choir members, but for our audience members. So we took 2020 and 2021 off.
We did.
And we said, if we're going to come back, let's come back big.
Yep, we're going to do it big.
And yes, I should introduce myself, Tom Rett. I'm a Spencer Messiah Board member.
I'm Sandi Schmidt. I'm the current Messiah Board president, only by default. Nobody else said yes, so I jumped in.
Yeah, it's one of those things where everybody took a step back and Sandi stayed up there. So, hey, you're president.
Hey,
all right. Anyway, so yeah, we as a board thought, let's be safe. And because we checked with all the health providers and stuff, and they said, yeah, really singing is probably not a good thing at this point. But now that everybody's been vaccinated and everything, we're back. We're doing a Messiah presentation with an orchestra and choir.
We're excited.
Soloists. We have them all lined up. We have some returning soloists, I think.
Right.
Jessica is. Dean Bush has sung with us before, but not as a soloist, so that's exciting for us. Paige, I wish I could remember her last name, but she's a really good singer. She's going to be our alto singer. And then actually, Dr. Keith in town, whose mother is our director, Robin Keith. As people might remember, the last time we did Messiah, we were all ready to go, and then weather came. And we sat around and said, do we do this or do we not do it? And we said, well, hey, we've practiced this stuff, let's do what we can. And as it happened, it turned out very well. Dr. Keith was actually one of our soloists that time. Now he gets to prepare a little better for us.
Right.
So he'll be our bass soloist this year.
We had to punt a little that year. It was
and again, when Handel wrote the Messiah, he didn't write it for thinking that it was going to be the Mormon Tabernacle Choir or anything. It was supposed to be something done at his church. Small church choir and everything. So with a few instrumentalists. So. Actually, our Messiah actually turned out to be a little more authentic that time, but it pulled it off. So.
Right.
So you mentioned the board. How big is your board, and can anybody join it?
Oh, well, we do try to have a little sampling of people from different area churches. Church choirs have kind of gone by the way a little bit, and that used to be part of what drove us, was different church choir directors seemed to be who were on our board. So our board has kind of dwindled, kind of along with the people that were church choir directors that aren't doing that anymore. But we have 5, 6 people.
Yeah, we try to be representative. And we're always welcome if we've got somebody out there that wants to join the board. Sandi.
Absolutely. We could make him president really easy.
Don't scare him off to begin with.
We'll give him a year or two before we make him president. It's a pretty easy group, though, and we don't meet a lot. We don't have to because it's a once a year event. But of course, it takes a little more work on a Messiah year than it does on the other years. But we're just excited to get started because our first rehearsal is this Sunday.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about rehearsals. You're obviously looking for singers.
Right.
Always.
So we'll rehearse Sunday nights at 6 to probably at 7:38, something like that. At Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Spencer. Bring your own score. If you don't have a score,
we have them for sale. So we have several on hand. They're only $12. So bring your cash or your checkbook, and we'll sell you a book on site. We found over the years it's a lot easier to try not to share that score. It's really hard to see everything and to make your notes and everything if you don't have your own book. Not that we don't allow it. It's up to you. If you have a family member that you want to sit with and share, that's fine. But having your own book is a lot easier. So if you have them, if you've sung with us before, dig them out, dust them off, get them ready to go. Bring your pencil with you and come join us on Sunday at 6. Our prior years, we've always rehearsed at 7. And we kind of heard a little bit from some young mothers that they'd love to sing, but they need to be home for bedtime. So we thought this year we'd try doing it at 6 and get those moms home so they can tuck in their kids. And maybe that'll increase our volume a little bit, get us some more new people involved.
Yeah, and again, if you can't make every rehearsal, come as when you can. It'll be doing every Sunday until the performance on, which is December 4th. And if you don't feel like singing with this year, but want to come to the Messiah, come join us at 7 o'clock that night.
You don't have to come to every rehearsal. Sometimes it's hard to make it on a Sunday, and remember, we're also taking that Sunday after Thanksgiving off,
Right.
because
That's the one time we don't
a hard
rehearse.
time to get people to come. But so if you can come to most of them, that's great. Don't feel that you can't be part of our group if you don't feel you can attend every rehearsal. Robin's really good about going back and revisiting. Sometimes we'll run through every piece every night. Other times we'll just push on a couple really hard that we have issues with, that she knows that there's sections we need to work on. So join us and come and enjoy the experience with us.
Yeah, and Robin is a former middle school music teacher, so if you don't read music, don't worry, we'll have somebody there who's sung before and she'll help you. She makes rehearsals really fun. Yeah, and again, she's sung in the Messiah as a choir member. She's sung soloist from the Messiah. She's played cello in the Messiah. Like she said, she's done everything and other than directing it, and she did that for us in 2018. So yeah, Robin will make the rehearsals really fun for you. I want to make sure we put a plug in, Sandy, for our supporters.
Right. We do get financial support from the Kiwanis Club,
And the Daybreakers.
the Daybreakers Kiwanis Club, and from St. Luke's Homes and Services. So we are very, very grateful to them for the monetary support we receive from them.
Right. And then you also will take an offering that evening,
We
too.
do. We take an offering to help, because we do have to pay some of our musicians. We've got, would you call them semi-professional musicians?
And then we have a rehearsal accompanist who's very good, but again, we appreciate her knowledge and her skills, and that's been acquired over time, so we want to make sure she's appreciated for that. So.
And then we do pay mileage to some of our orchestra people who come from far away. We have people coming from Sioux City, Cherokee, the
all
area
over.
to be part of the orchestra.
Yeah, and you basically kind of work with the Cherokee Symphony, right? Kind of.
Yeah, a lot of those musicians will come up and help us. Yeah, and like Sandy said, we'll have ones coming from Sioux City as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So come join us, sing October 16th, and then every Sunday after that, 6 o'clock at Sacred Heart. Like she said, bring your score, bring a pencil. If you want more information, check our Facebook page. I guess that's the thing we brought up. One of our last videos we did online was that if we do have weather issues, Northwest Iowa, on a rehearsal night, check our Facebook page and we'll put something up there probably a couple hours beforehand.
Yeah.
Because we do have people coming from out of the area to come sing with us. So if you're not sure about coming that night for weather issues, check our Facebook page and we'll put something up there.
You bet.
Yes, we're having a rehearsal. No, we're not having a rehearsal. So.
Hopefully we won't have any of those
Yes,
issues.
knock on wood. Yes,
We had some, yeah. Sounds good. And then, of course, mark your calendar for December 4th.
December
Right.
4th, the performance at 7 p.m. It's going to be great. And I just encourage you, if you're considering it all, just jump right in. It's such a wonderful experience, and it's fulfilling. It starts off the Christmas season with just really good vibes, and it's an experience you'll remember for a long time.
Yeah, and it's a really Spencer tradition. We've been doing it since 1930. They did the Messiah every year until 1977, and then the Messiah board said, well, let's start putting some festival lessons and carols in there to alternate a little bit. And then one of our previous directors, he was the superintendent at Royal actually, said, hey, up until that time they've been doing just Messiah with piano, and they said, let's get some string musicians in here and make it more of an orchestra thing. So that's kind of, it's grown and evolved that way. I believe back in 1988, it was such a tradition that Iowa Public Television came and taped the thing and put it on statewide television. So we're kind of a thing. People in this area might not realize that the Messiah has been going on for a long time. And I will bring up my one bullet point I did with Kevin and Rhea on More 149 last week, that if it was not for the Messiah, you probably would not have a Tom Redd here. because my mother, growing up, she became a music teacher in Ida Grove, Iowa. She, young single girl in a small town community. She goes to the Messiah rehearsals, just kind of learn to get to network with people and get to know people. And just so happened my dad, my dad's dad, who was a Presbyterian pastor, and his wife, who's a soprano singer, they went to the Messiah rehearsals too. And so I got to know this June Clinton person. And on Monday nights, I think the story was, that was wash day for my grandmother. So she would say, I've done the wash all day. I don't feel like cooking. You go to the cafe and have your supper. So my grandpa went, and of course my mother, being single, sometimes she would take her meals down at the cafe. So she got to know him, and after a while he got to say, I've got a son who's a band director in Esterville, and this is during the war years. So, and they'd talk about him. So later they got to kind of know each other, and here I am.
There you go.
So
From the Messiah.
You just never know what happens at these Messiah rehearsals, and you get to know each other and stuff. So, and again, that's
Great
the nice
story.
thing. That's the nice thing about the rehearsals. It's not just about the music, but the music is really good, and that's why. And as you'll find out.
But it's a fellowship.
It's really accessible music, and it's really. And I've found over the years teaching music that when you give kids or adults really good pieces of music, people gravitate towards that, and you'll find out that it's really good music. It's fun to learn,
and you push yourself and you can do it.
And again,
and there's always going to be somebody next to you or behind you,
like Sandi said,
that knows what they're doing, and you can follow them.
You've come with your daughter in years past.
Yes,
so we can take high schoolers up to whatever age.
Yes, we encourage the high schoolers to get their teachers to give them letter credit to come and sing with us. So we like having the young people join us.
Good. Yeah, and don't be scared of the Messiah, right? A lot of people hear the Messiah and go, oh, I can't sing that. I'm just a garden. I sing in my pew at church, and that's good enough. But it's really not that difficult piece of music.
There's pieces of it that are kind of tough, but like I said, that's the stuff we crank on and work on really hard. Other parts of it are just very singable, and it's just it's an experience that you need to be part of.
I think the neat thing is that you'll come for that time, and you can put all your whatever is going on in your life away, and you can just sit and sing, and have fun with and get to learn new people, get to maybe see some people you didn't realize were singers and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's great.
So you really don't have to be that great of a singer, but it's just if you enjoy singing, we'll help you with the rest of that stuff. So
Alrighty, well, that's once again one of those rehearsal times. And do they need to RSVP or anything?
No,
or
just show up. We'll register you when you get there. Starts this Sunday, the 16th, 6 p.m., Sacred Heart. Then those last 3 Sundays in October, the first 3 Sundays in November. Then we take that 1 week off, and then we'll hit it on the performance day. We have a 2 o'clock in the afternoon rehearsal with the orchestra. That's the only time we rehearse with the orchestra, is the day of the performance, and then we do it that night. So.
And if you're busy and you can't make any of those things, but you still want to catch us, how can they find us, Karen?
Well, you'll be on Channel 3. We usually air it around that Christmas weekend.
And usual
type
multiple
thing.
times.
Yeah, usual multiple times. So just check out the schedule on smunet.net in December, and we'll have it posted there.
And we, as a Messiah board, we really appreciate that, because it's just amazing. We're there doing this stuff, and we don't realize all the shots and stuff. And it's so cool when SMU puts the video out showing, the singers, the audience, the soloists. I mean, it's just very well done. And so we're very grateful to SMU that you're in our town to do this kind of thing, because otherwise it's like, well, that was a nice experience. What happened?
Yeah, it'd be fun if we could see it. Yep, we can.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And it's kind of fun for us to do it too. A little different than a basketball game or a football game.
What? Really? Okay.
We're happy to do it. So December 4th, mark your calendar.
Yes.
All right, good enough. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Karen.
We'll be back with more right after this.